Hello and welcome to your next practice. This will be a 45-minute practice in which we will work with some hip opening, spinal rotation, side bending, and some core stability work. As always, it will be a challenging practice, but only if you want it to be a challenging practice. You can, by all means, sit out some postures. You can make it your own. Always remember, it's your practice. It depends what you have in the tank, and it depends what you want to give. You can't fill from an empty cup, so I would admire you for taking it easy. I would admire you for knowing exactly what you have to give. And if you feel like really going for it gives you energy, that it's topping you up, then give it your all. Enjoy the practice. We're going to start lying down on the back. So come to lie down. Feet wider than hips distance, toes gently rolling out to the sides, hands on the ground beside the body with the palms facing up. For a moment, just put your attention in the back body, all parts of the body that are touching the mat or the floor below you. Putting your attention in the back body. And then becoming aware of the front body, all parts of the body facing towards the ceiling or sky above. Become aware of your front body. Become aware of the whole body as one unit. All of your attention in your physical body now. Try not to let the mind wander. Now let the attention come to your breath, your natural breath. And just feel the sensation of breathing at the nostrils. Notice the cooling sensation as you inhale and the warming sensation as you exhale. Notice the breath at the nostrils. for the last few cycles of breath in this position. See if you can lengthen your exhale. Exhale fully and completely. Hold your breath out for your own count of 3 to 5 seconds. And when you're ready to do so, begin to wake the body. Wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes. Move your hands, move your feet. Turn your head a little side to side. Take a big stretch. Reach your arms overhead, point your toes, lick your lips, yawn, whatever feels good. And then we'll set up. So lift your head. Look down over the body and walk your feet in so they're hip distance. So second toes pointing up at the ceiling. Straight line from the center of the foot to the center of the knee to the hip. From the pubic bone to the belly button to the breastbone to the chin, one straight line. Put your head back down with the tip of the nose pointing up at the ceiling. Keep your left leg strong. Draw your right knee in. Interlace your fingers behind your right thigh. And let that right knee sink down towards the right armpit. Keep both shoulders grounded. Don't roll over to the right-hand side. Just a couple of breaths here, really passive, letting that right knee sink down towards the right armpit. And then bring the right knee forward so that the right knee stacks above the right hip. Lift your ankle up to be in line with the knee so your shin is parallel to the ground. We'll do ankle flexion and extension. So draw the toes back towards the knee and then point the toes forward. Bring the toes back and point them forward. Back and forward. 2 more. Back and forward. 1 more. Back and forward. Now ankle rotation. So if you notice that your leg is along for the ride, you need more stabilization, you need more co-contraction. It feels like the front and back of your thigh is squeezing in, the inside and outside of your thigh is squeezing in. Change direction. And then come back to stillness. Interlace your fingers behind the leg again. And let that thigh come down towards your chest. The lower leg, the shin bones and the foot, they're going to roll outwards. So your right toes, the toes of your right foot are pointing out towards the right hand side. The knee is closer to the collarbone, so it's not stacked above the hip anymore. And we're going to do knee extension. So remember, we have this slight rotation in the shin and the foot is along with it. So lengthen and bend. Lengthen and bend. Lengthen and bend. 2 more. Lengthen and bend. 1 more. Lengthen and bend. Now roll the shin inwards. So now the shin is rotated into the left and the foot has followed, and we're going to lengthen and bend. Extend at the knee, flex at the knee. 3 more. 1 more. Now keep the foot angled in. Begin a knee rotation so the foot travels up the inside. Then the foot rolls out so the shin bone has rotated outwards and we come down. So allow your shin and your foot to move to point inwards and point outwards as you do the knee rotation. So we're just working the knee and the musculature around the knee in different variations. We're going to change direction and remember to keep rotating that shin. One more in this direction. And then release. And then from here, we're going to put the hands back down on the ground. Imagine now there's a pencil in the center of your knee. So there's a pencil in the center of your knee, and begin to draw circles on the ceiling with that pencil. So you will notice if your circle is too big that your pelvis is along for the ride. I want you to only make a circle so big that it's the thigh bone, the femur, traveling in the hip socket. So the left hip doesn't lift. You could even put your left hand on the left side of your pelvis just to see if that left hip is lifting. We want to avoid it. So you might be drawing a pretty small circle. It really depends on how broad your hip joint is, as in it could be a very deep hip joint and you would make a very small circle. It could be a shallow hip joint and wider, which would mean you would make a wider circle. Now change direction and pay just as much attention to the pelvis not moving. And then one more. And then lower that foot down onto the ground. So your heel goes down to the ground. Keep your toes up so the foot is flexed. The Pilates compass, which is like a diamond shape made with the hands, the tips of the index fingers on your pubic bone and the thumbs just underneath your navel. And make sure that your index fingers and thumbs are level. You might even take a peek, take a look. And then really lightly, without letting the pelvis move at all, slide out your right foot. And then you can put your hands back down on the floor beside you and relax into your Shavasana again. So now the body is not active, it's more relaxed and passive. Take control again. So right leg is pressing firmly into the ground. Left knee is going to come in towards the chest and angle slightly out towards the armpit. And your hands are like a little weight. So just take a few breaths here with that left knee sinking down. And then from there, bring the knee forward to stack above the hip, shin parallel to the floor. Put your hands back down and begin your ankle flexion and extension. So point the toes forward and flex the foot back. Point and flex. Point and flex. Two more, point and flex. One more, point and flex. And then ankle rotation. And change direction. And back to stillness. Bring the knee close to the chest again. Interlace the fingers behind the thigh and hug that thigh down. We'll go for knee extension and flexion with the shin rotated. So rotate the shin out to your left. So it's pointing outwards. Extend the leg and bend. Extend and bend. Deep stretch for the hamstring. Two more. One more. Rotate the shin inwards. Keep flexing and extending at the knee joint. Different sensation, different muscles being stretched. Two more. And then we're going to go for knee rotation with the same idea that the shin rotates inwards when we move on the inside of the circle and outwards on the outside of the circle. So begin your knee rotation. And then changing direction, circle the opposite way. And then come back to stillness, put your hands back on the ground. So you might even like your right hand on your right hip or on the right side of the pelvis, just so that you know that you're moving the femur in the hip socket and not moving the pelvis along with it. So begin your hip rotation. So it might be bigger or smaller on this side, would depend on your mobility. We're not generally completely symmetrical, so that's okay. Do two more in this rotation and then change direction. And then from there, put the heel down, keep the toes flexed. Make your Pilates compass and put the index fingers on your pubic bone. Make sure the thumbs are level so the pelvis is in neutral. Keep your rib cage hugging down towards the ground and slide out that foot. So what you're doing there is just making sure that the leg is independent of how the pelvis moves, keeping stability in the core. Great. So we're going to bend the knees, plant the heels on the ground. And again, with the diamond shape, just make sure that the pelvis is neutral. Slide your hands up to your ribs and sink your ribs down towards your pelvis. And then keep all that. So feel like your two hip bones draw inwards. You feel like your abdominal muscles hold that in place. Your pelvic floor is active about 3 out of 10. Your rib cage feels like it's moving down. And when you breathe, breathe into the back and side ribs. So the front ribs stay down towards the pelvis. This is core stability. We're going to do double knee fold, okay? So keep your core nice and strong. Feeling, I've said it before, it feels like you've just put on a pair of jeans that are a size too small or that you left in the dryer for too long. Everything feels like it's tight, but you can still, it doesn't feel rigid. It doesn't feel like you're bound up, okay? Then lift your right foot up and stack your right knee above your right hip, just like before. Lift your left leg up and do the same thing, but then squeeze the legs together, toes pointing ever so slightly forward. Feel like you're squeezing an A4 sheet of paper between your legs so that your thighs are glued together. We're going to move into the abdominal setup, the abdominal warm-up. So tuck your chin ever so slightly. Lift your hands off the floor just about an inch. Bend your elbows slightly and feel like your armpits want to move towards your hips. And then lift your shoulder blades off the floor. The tip of your nose is pointing towards your knees. We're going to hold here for about 20 seconds, breathing deeply, but keeping the pelvis very still without letting the lower back arch too much. Lower your head back down. Right foot goes down. Ball of the foot touches first, then the heel. Left foot goes down, ball of the foot, and then the heel. Take your knees together and just open the feet a little wider. Turn your palms to face up. Now let everything soften. Feel like your lower belly is relaxed and you can breathe deeply into that relaxed low belly. So that was our ab prep. Separate the knees, walk the feet in, ankles under the knees. We're going to move into the ab prep again and then into the 100. In the 100, the arms are just slightly off the floor and it feels like you are just patting a puddle is how it's described. So basically you're trying to splash water. So the arms beat up and down, but the body stays very still. The arms moving is trying to stimulate the core to create more stability. It's perturbing the body. So same prep for the same position for the ab prep, and then we'll move into the 100. So let's set it up again. Let's just make sure that the pelvis is in neutral. So we have the diamond shape creating that neutral pelvis. Hands up to the ribs, slide your rib cage down. Imagine you're putting on that pair of jeans that are too small. We're going to lift the legs into the double knee fold. So let's start with the left foot. Take a deep inhale. And as you exhale, lift the left knee up above the left hip. Shin is parallel to the floor. Take another inhale. And then with your exhale, lift the right foot up. Squeeze the legs together as if you're squeezing a sheet of paper between your knees. Okay, make sure you're not overarching the low back now that you've loaded with the legs. If you have, put one leg back down and just hold the position. You can always switch halfway through. Take a deep inhale. And as you exhale, lift the arms up. Feel like you're squeezing an orange underneath your armpit. Slight bend in the elbows. Inhale again. Now as you exhale, lift the shoulder blades off the floor. The nose is pointing through your knees. So we're going to begin the 100. Take a deep inhale first. Exhale fully. Feel that strong core pelvic floor. Inhale, beat the arms. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Halfway through. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, and then lower the head and the arms back down to the earth. Inhale, lower left foot down, ball of the foot, and then the heel. Inhale, and then exhale, lower the right foot down, ball of the foot, and then the heel. Knees together, walk the feet slightly wider, palms face up towards the ceiling. That was the 100. Your abs should either feel that was delightful and that they're awake, or you might feel like that was hard work, but that's great because it's really showing us that we can create more stability in our core. Separate the knees, walk the feet in a little. Interlace your fingers down to the webbing and take your head take your hands underneath the back of your head is a better way to describe that. Take your hands underneath the back of your head, thumbs in underneath the base of your skull. Now, if your elbows are very high, if there's a lot of tightness in the shoulders, maybe you'd like a blanket underneath your head as well that will support the elbows when they're out to the side. So you could have a rolled up blanket in a square or a rectangle shape underneath the back of the head and the arms. Okay, from here, bring your right knee up again. Then bring the left knee up again. Then squeeze the legs together. Keep the legs squeezing together. And then bring the knees down towards your left hand side, but try not to let the right shoulder or elbow lift off the ground. So you'll only go a little bit of the way towards the ground. And then come back up to the center. And then bring the knees down to the right and don't let your left elbow lift. Come back up. With the arms in this position, you won't go as deep as you usually do in a twist. Move down to your left and keep your right elbow and right shoulder blade down. Come back up. Go down to your right. Keep your left elbow and your left shoulder blade down. Come back up. Down to your left. Come back up. Down to your right. Come back up. We're going to challenge this a little bit. Down to the left. Straighten out left leg, but keep your knees glued together as if you're squeezing a sheet of paper between your knees. Bend your knees. Come back up center. Go down to your right. Straighten your right leg. Bend the knee. Come back up. Go down to your left. Straighten the left leg. Bend the knee. Come back up. Go down to your right. Straighten the right leg. Bend the knee and come back up. Go down to the left, and if you feel stable, straighten both legs. Much harder. Come back up to center. And down to your right, straighten both legs. Bend the knees. Come back up to center. Put the feet down gently towards the floor. We're going to work a little deeper. Now this time we'll lift the head, slide the hands out. If you had a blanket, please move the blanket as well. And we're going to take the arms into the regular, either cactus arms or fully extended. So I'm going to go with cactus arms. So my elbow is in line with my shoulder and my wrist is in line with my elbow. Again, I want to feel like the armpit is squeezing down towards the waist. So as they say, feel like you're crushing an orange underneath your armpit. Why you would do that, I do not know, but that's the sensation. Why is it an orange? Who knows? Lift your right leg up. Lift your left leg up. Squeeze your legs together. Knees above the hips to begin. Okay, let's go down to the left. You'll have more space to go down, keeping the shoulder blade on the ground. Come back up to center. Go down to your right. Keep the left shoulder blade on the ground. Come back up. Go down to your left. Come back up. Go down to your right. Come back up. Go down to your left. Come back up. One more time, right. Come back up. We're going to jazz it up. Go down to your left, straighten left leg. Don't lose the right shoulder blade on the ground. Come back up. Go down to your right, straighten right leg. Load in the body more. Come back up. Left side, straighten the leg if you can. And come back up. Right side, straighten the leg. bend and come back up. This time it's the last big one. Down to the left, both legs straighten. Harder to keep the right shoulder down. Come back up, go down to your right, both legs straighten. Bend the knees, come back up, put the feet back down on the ground, walk the feet slightly wider, knees together, and just relaxing again. So palms facing up towards the ceiling. Take the shoulder blades slightly away from the ears. Close your eyes and just be with your breath. Supine rest position, knees together, feet slightly wide, feeling the low back and the low belly completely relax. Gently blink open the eyes, separate the knees. We're going to rock and roll to seated. Bring the knees in towards the torso. You can hold on to the fronts of the knees or the backs of the thighs, whatever you prefer. Lift your head and make yourself into a little ball. So it's like you are taking your chest towards the space between your two thighs. And then roll up onto the seat and roll back onto the shoulders. Roll up onto the seat and roll back onto the shoulders. Roll up onto the seat and roll back onto the shoulders. Two more. Roll up onto the seat. Roll back onto the shoulders. Last one, we'll stay up. And from there, we'll come to an all fours position. So in the all fours, we are setting ourselves up nice and strong. So wrists underneath the shoulders or slightly forward of the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. For a moment, just point the sit bones up towards the ceiling and then point the sit bones down towards the floor. Two more like that. Point the sit bones up, point the sit bones down. One more, point the sit bones up, point the sit bones down, and then find a neutral position where the sit bones are pointing straight back. Feel the rib cage moving down towards the earth and the shoulder blades drawing back, and then push the ground away. Pull the rib cage up. Create more space between the shoulder blades and the spine. Two more. Shoulder blades retract. Shoulder blades protract. Shoulder blades squeeze together and move away from each other. And then find the neutral in between. Lengthen the crown of the head forward. Bring the back of the neck up towards the ceiling. Nose is pointing down between your thumbs. So now we're in a solid position. So remember that leg slide we did earlier where the pelvis stayed really solid in space? We're going to do something very similar here. Curl your toes under and then slide your right foot back without moving the torso very much, and just hold this position. And then without moving the torso very much, can you put your right knee back on the ground? So sometimes when we do that, the body will just move side to side. So what we're trying to do is create more stability. Now left leg's turned, so we're going to extend out, try and keep everything else pretty solid, and then slowly put the knee back down. Again, keep the toes curled under, right leg extends, right knee goes back down. Left leg extends, left knee goes back down. This time, right leg extends and keep it there. Left leg extends and keep it there. Now we're in a plank position. Let's hold plank for about 30 seconds. So strong and stable. Front body moving towards the back body. Hip points knitting in towards each other. Make sure that the neck isn't dipping down towards the floor. The rib cage isn't dipping down towards the floor. You have about 15 seconds left. You have less than 10 seconds left. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Put your knees down. And then from there, let's just take a little rotation. Walk the hands further forward. So now there's a long diagonal line with the arms. Put your right elbow on the ground, in line with your right wrist, and just turn your torso towards the left. Come back up. Put your left elbow down, turn your torso towards the right. Come back up. Right elbow down, and come back up. Left elbow down. Come back up. One more time, right elbow down. Come back up. One more time, left elbow down. Come back up. Excellent. Okay. Walk the hands back in underneath the shoulders. Tops of the feet on the floor this time. Set yourself up nice and strong. So we're just going to practice something. Keep the torso very, very still. And with your right hand, touch your left shoulder. And then put that hand back down. With your left hand, touch your right shoulder. And put the hand back down. Now pay more attention to your torso. So keep everything nice and strong and stable. Right hand touches left shoulder. And the hand goes back down. Left hand touches right shoulder. and the hand goes back down. One more time, right hand to left shoulder, and the hand goes back down. Left hand to right shoulder, and the hand goes back down. Lovely. Inhale, lift your breastbone and find cow pose. So point your sit bones up, lift your breastbone, and then exhale, round into cat pose. Hold the cat pose, and with your right hand, touch the outside of your left knee. And then put that hand back down. Hold the cat pose, with your left hand, touch the outside of your right knee. Put the hand back down. Hold the cat pose, with your right hand, touch the outside of your left knee. Hold the cat pose and touch the outside of your right knee with your left hand. Put the hand back down. Come back into a neutral position with the shoulders above the wrists, or slightly further forward with the heel of the hand forward of the armpit. So however you feel more strong and stable. Okay, we're going to jazz that up a bit, as I like to do. Curl your toes under. Slide your right foot back without the torso moving very much. Keep steady in that right foot. Slide your left leg back without the torso moving very much. Here we are in a plank position. Make sure it's strong and stable. Keep the stability. With your right hand, touch your left shoulder. Don't move the torso. Hand goes back down. Left hand, right shoulder. Hand goes back down. Right hand, left shoulder. Hand goes back down. Left hand, right shoulder. Hand goes back down. Right hand, left shoulder. Hand goes back down. Left hand, right shoulder. Lift to a downward dog. You can shorten the stance if it feels more comfortable. And then from here, the right hand is going to touch the outside of the left shin. The right hand goes back down. The left hand goes to the outside of the right shin. The hand goes back down. Right hand to left leg. Maybe you can tap the outside of the ankle. Left hand then goes to right ankle or shin. One more time, right hand to the left side. One more time, left hand to the right side. And then slowly put your knees back down. Take a child's pose. Big toes touch, knees go wide, or keep the shins parallel. Take your child's pose and just be with your breath for a moment. We're going to revisit that. So just take this time to really be with your breath. And prepare to come back up. So let's find all fours again. Rising up out of your child's pose, find your all fours. Curl your toes under. Set yourself up, neutral spine. So feel like your front ribs are drawing back towards the back ribs. Feel like your spine is long. Send your right foot back. Ball of the foot planted firmly. Send your left leg back. Ball of the foot planted firmly. Here we are in plank. So right hand to left shoulder and back down. Left hand to right shoulder, back down. This time, go straight up to downward dog. Reach for the outside of your left ankle. Go back down, reach for the outside of your right ankle. And then come forward into plank. Right hand touches left shoulder. Left hand touches right shoulder. Downward facing dog. Reach right hand, left ankle. Hand goes down, reach left hand, right ankle. Forward to plank. Right hand, left shoulder. Left hand, right shoulder. Shoulder taps. Downward dog. Ankle taps, right hand to left ankle, left hand to right ankle. Back into your plank, knees down, take a child's pose. Wonderful. Take a child's pose. Let your belly be soft, let your lower back relax, and feel the breath expanding into your belly and your low back. Well done. Gently blink open your eyes, come back up to all fours. From your all fours position, we'll move into a downward facing dog. Curl your toes under, lift your hips up. We're going to step the left foot forward into a high lunge. So fingertip the mat with your left hand. Step your left foot forward, find your high lunge. Walk your right foot to the center of the mat, drop the heel down. We're preparing for warrior two. Cartwheel your hands up. Stack your shoulders above your waist. Front knees above front ankle. Little toe side of the back foot firmly down. Arms reaching in opposite directions. Again, feel like your armpits sink down. So you got that little bit of core connection. Powerhouse working. Okay, from here, We are going to move into extreme side angle. Bend your left elbow, take your right upper arm over your ear, little side bend in the torso, and then sweep back up to warrior two. Keep the front knee bent the whole time. Side angle. Lightly rest your left forearm on your left thigh and come back up. 3 more. Lightly rest your left forearm on your left thigh. Barely touch. 2 more. And warrior two. 1 more. And warrior two. Straighten your left leg. Turn your palms to face towards your right. Sink your left hip slightly. Lean forward and find triangle. So your left hand is just above your left ankle or maybe underneath your left knee. Send your hips forward and your shoulders back. You can look up towards the top hand. Rotation now. The waist is going to rotate down towards your left foot. Your right hand comes down and you're going to low five your left hand. And then let the waist follow the top hand as you reach back up towards the ceiling. 4 more like that. Rotate at the waist, low five the bottom hand, and go all the way back up. Rotate at the waist, low five the bottom hand, and back up. We have 2 more. And then all the way back to ceiling and 1 more. And all the way back to ceiling. Sweep back up to your warrior two. Cartwheel your hands to the ground. Lift the back foot and step it back out to hip distance. Back into plank, please. Right hand touches left shoulder. Left hand touches right shoulder. Downward dog. Reach for right hand, left ankle. Right hand down, left hand, right ankle. Come forward to a plank. Right hand, left shoulder. Left hand, right shoulder. Back into a downward dog. Right hand, left ankle. Left hand, right ankle. Back into your plank. Right hand, left shoulder. Left hand, right shoulder. Back into your downward dog. Right hand, left ankle. Left hand, right ankle. Back into your plank. Hold the position. 3, 2, 1. Back into a downward dog. And this time step your right foot forward. I'm going to turn around so that I'm still facing towards you. Right foot's your front foot. You're in a high lunge. Walk the left foot to the center of the mat. Drop the heel down. Left hand cartwheels up. And we're here in our warrior two. Preparing for the dance of the warrior. So from here, bend your right elbow, take your left arm up and over, and come back up. Side angle pose, warrior two. Side angle pose, warrior two. Side angle pose, warrior two. 2 more. 1 more. Straighten your right leg, turn your palms to face towards your left. Lean forward, take triangle. Once you're solid in your triangle, we're going to low five the bottom hand. So left hand comes down to the right hand, breastbone follows. And back up. Remember, it's all about the rotation in the waist. Down and up. Down and up. 2 more. More. And let's come back up to the warrior two. Cartwheel your hands down to the ground. Lift onto the ball of the back foot. Step the foot back hip distance. Please go back into a downward dog. Roll forward into a plank. You guessed it. Right hand, left shoulder. Left hand, right shoulder. Downward dog. Toe tap left. Or hand tap left ankle. Hand tap right ankle. Back into your plank. Right hand to left shoulder, left hand to right shoulder, downward dog. Left ankle tap with right hand, right ankle tap with left hand. 1 more time, shoulders above the wrists. Right hand, left shoulder, left hand, right shoulder. Back into your downward dog, reach for left ankle, reach for right ankle. Come back into your downward dog, come back into your plank and hold for 3, 2, 1. Go back into your downward facing dog. Put your knees back on the ground. From here, go back into your child's pose and rest. Feel the breath filling the torso. Feel the breath softening the body. You've worked hard. Well done. Be with your breath. Come back up to all fours. And then find a seated position with the legs extended out in front. So legs extended out straight, maybe finding the sit bones underneath the flesh of the buttocks sitting nice and tall. We're going to take Janu Shirshasana. So bend your right knee and slide your right heel in towards the inside of your left hip. Let the right knee open out to the side. The sole of the right foot is on the inside of the left hip. The knee is opening out. Fingertip them at either side of your left knee. Flex your left foot. Sit nice and tall. Then reach your arms up to frame your ears and hold on to opposite elbows. So the reason I'm doing this is because you will notice if you round your upper back first, because your upper arms will move forward of your ears. So lengthen and then keep the upper arms in line with the ears. Imagine even you're pressing your arms back behind your ears, and then fold your way down until you can go no deeper. When you can go no deeper, you found your first edge. Reach for either the calf, the ankle, or the foot. Lengthen your breastbone a little bit more, and then you can round your upper back down. So allow the head to come a little closer to the knee. Just relax. Rise all the way back up. Release your arms down. Bring your right knee up towards the ceiling and then step the right foot to the outside of your left thigh. Wrap your left arm around your right knee. Lengthen a little. Right hand behind right sit bone. Rotate to your right. Look over right shoulder. Rotate back to center. Extend out your right leg. Bend your left knee. Take the left knee down towards the earth. The ankles in line with the knee. Press sole of the foot into the inner right thigh. Flex right foot. Fingertips either side of your right knee and lengthen through your spine. Then take the arms up. Take hold of opposite elbows, but change the cross just to go against the grain just a little bit. Lengthen through your spine. Lower belly draws back. And then hinge forward at the hips. So again, you're going to find your first edge. So the arms aren't coming forward of the ears. In fact, they're moving back. Once you've found your first edge, reach for the calf, the ankle, or wrapping the hands around the foot. Lift your breastbone away from your belly button, and then down we come. Forward bend. Be with your breath. Inhale, reach back to ceiling. Arms come down, left knee comes up, step your left foot to the outside of the right knee. Wrap your right arm around left leg, left hand behind left sit bone, lengthen through your spine. Rotate left, look over left shoulder. Rotate back center, extend out your left leg, and then we'll come into whatever seated position suits you. We'll just do a little bit of breath meditation. Very, very simple. So notice the breath at both nostrils. Notice the breath at both nostrils. And as you inhale, imagine that the breath moves equally in through both nostrils and arrives at the third eye, the point between the two eyebrows. And there it creates a circle. And then when you're ready to exhale, you exhale equally out through both nostrils. So if you're a visual person, if you like to visualize, imagine that the breath is a golden thread. And this golden thread equally enters through both nostrils with the inhale. At the space between the two eyebrows, it circles in a clockwise direction. And then when you're ready to exhale, you exhale out through both nostrils equally. So let's do this for the next few moments. Inhaling, golden threads equally enter through both nostrils as the breath meets at the space between your two eyebrows. And then it circles in a clockwise direction. And then when you're ready to exhale, you exhale equally out through both nostrils again. Continue this meditation, this pranayama, for the next few moments. Finish the round you're on as you exhale. Finish the round you're on as you exhale. Take the attention back to the physical body. Take the hands in front of your heart in prayer. Bow forward to seal your practice. Shia Khan.